A key New York Knick has spoken out and revealed how the team feels on Mike Brown being named the next head coach of the New York Knicks, as he's already with the team in Vegas, replacing Tom Thibodeau. And there was a lot of thought that multiple players were not fans of Thibodeau. That's basically been confirmed, as Leon Rose and Brown will continue to look for the final coaches added to Mike Brown's staff together in a huge update as well. And we're going to go over all of this. A lot to talk about, guys. What's up? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. We're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 66.6% who's not subscribed to the channel, it's clear that you guys are on the wrong side of things if you just look at that number for a second. So come on over, subscribe to the channel. It's a great time. We're having a lot of fun. You guys have been killing it recently. Thank you so much for 19,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. Now let's finally get to that big 20 mark. We got to 10K. Just this year alone, we are doubling what we did last year. Let's keep it up, but let's jump into the video and talk some Knicks basketball. It's Deuce McBride, one of the key members of the Knicks and one of the longest tenured New York Knicks, believe it or not, has revealed the truth on how the team feels and how he feels on Mike Brown being named the head coach of the New York Knicks. Now, Brown was named the head coach of the New York Knicks now a week back or so, and he's already started to have an impact on this team, the way they're playing in Summer League, while Brown is at Summer League hanging out with some of his players, Deuce McBride being one of them, along with also having Mikal Bridges there and a few other Knicks here and there as well, including Karl-Anthony Towns. Mike Brown is already making an impact on these guys and on the way the New York Knicks are playing basketball in the Summer League, four of which those players, potentially more when you're counting these two-way contracts like Marjan Beauchamp, for instance, Anton Watson, Kevin McCullough Jr., and then also adding on Ariel Hukporti, Mohamed Diawara, Hakoum Dadier, Tyler Kolek. There's a good chunk of these young guys who are going to be coached by Mike Brown in just a few months once things really start to get underway and Brown is coaching. Now, with all this being said, there was a lot of thought on how McBride and other players did feel about Tom Thibodeau, and it felt like Tibbs had lost the locker room. From what I heard, again, I don't always claim to have inside sources. I do know for a fact from an inside source within the Garden that a lot of players were not fans of Thibodeau, and none of them said they had an undying faith in Thibodeau, and that was just thunder outside if you heard it. Oh, New York. Of course it's going to rain the night I had plans. But that's not the point. The point is that Thibodeau is out, and a lot of players were sort of kind of done with Thibodeau. One player said that they did not feel like they could go another season under Tibbs. That was likely Mikal Bridges based off all the burn that he had to deal with. But also Deuce McBride sort of got screwed by Tibbs in a lot of ways that just should not have happened. McBride, the sixth man of the team last year, and will return into a sixth man role, or is expected to. Again, definitely will be on the team, but, you know, new coach, Josh Hart might be coming off the bench. Obviously, you have Jordan Clarkson now. It's not a guaranteed six-man role, but he'll still be a big part of this team off the bench. McBride did not get a ton of minutes under Tibbs, despite being his sixth man and having a good season. Now, diving into what Deuce said on the matter, he mentioned that we're excited as a team. I feel like the relationship he's already started to build with me and my other teammates have just been amazing. Already reaching out to us. It's just introductions, so nothing huge about basketball yet, but it's going to be exciting. And Deuce is coming off an exciting season. That's not his stats at all. That's still going on. I gotta talk to Ben Rogers of Raptors Digest about this, man. He's our stat graphics, dude. But Deuce averaged 9.5 points per game with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. He shot around 37% from 3. So he had a good season, don't get me wrong. He's one of the best, if not the best, point of attack defender on the Knicks. Probably OG Anunoby, who's just great at defense all around. But obviously Deuce, being in these conversations for could be one of the best point of attack, or could be the best point of attack defender on the Knicks, on a team that has OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, is really impressive. Deuce is a very, very talented player, and it's great to know that he is excited about his new head coach. First of all, obviously he's going to say that. He's not going to be like, oh man, I didn't want this guy to be the coach. But Mike Brown does fit Deuce very well. Mike Brown plays his bench, and on top of that, he likes his guys to be shooters who move in fast pace. Deuce loves to get out in transition. It's a great way that he plays basketball. He's always running. He's always ready to catch the ball and have that quick trigger release that has gotten him a lot of good minutes in the NBA thus far. And he's a two-way guy. These are things that Mike Brown is going to look at, and Deuce is going to get a lot of time on the court. There's a lot of people out there who do want to see Deuce be that fifth starter. Not Mitchell Robinson, not Josh Hart. They want to see it be Deuce. Why? Because of the 5-out beauty that it would be to have Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns, especially when we saw Mike Brown lead a playoff team that had Sabonis and Keegan Murray as the power forward and center, or the center and power forward, I should say. So clearly it's something that Mike Brown, he's not against small ball. So we'll see that lineup out there, even though we really never saw it with Tibbs. We're going to see that lineup with Mike Brown, and that's going to be huge to see as well, because the Knicks bench last year, they got no burn. They averaged the fewest points per game by a bench in the prior season, putting up 21.7 points per game. The second lowest was the Lakers, who put up 26.2, and the Sacramento Kings put up 26.3, and the Nuggets put up 26.4. Those were the only 4 teams that were in the 20s for bench points per game, and the Knicks, even with that, still managed to make the conference finals. But one of the big things is here, we look at all the other teams on that list, and the Knicks played significantly less minutes. They're the only team that was playing 63.5, like 60, 70, under 70 minutes per game. Their bench played under 70 minutes. So, I mean, what we're seeing is this unit that just played no time. And in case you're wondering, yes, they did play the least amount of bench minutes of any team. The Kings actually did play the second least, and I understand Mike Brown did coach them, but not the whole season. And routinely, Mike Brown has dug deep into a 10-man bench unit before, so I do expect him to use them again. Look, I mean, he's definitely still going to play some guys 34, 35 minutes a night, but it's the NBA. Stars play that much all the time, so it's really not that big of a concern at all. It's once you're getting to where Mikal Bridges was at, the 38, 39 a night. I mean, those extra 4 to 5 minutes, they add up, and they add up fast. So I really like what they're doing. I'm really, really, really liking what the Knicks are doing by having a coach who's going to coach the bench, and Deuce is going to get a lot more burn. You can see him literally in that photo. And I mean, we just look at the Knicks stats. The starters were all in double figures, but no one else was. Deuce averaged 9.5 points per game, so you could round it up if you want to. But outside of that, what we saw were guys who, I mean, Cameron Payne putting up, no one put up 7+ points off the bench. Outside of Deuce, Payne put up 6.9. Precious Achiuwa put up 6.6 in very inconsistent minutes. We saw Landry Shamet put up 5.7, but he only played a couple games. Well, he played 50 games, so he only really got things going towards the end because he was coming off a dislocated shoulder. And Mitchell Robinson, who only played in 17 games, averaged 5 points per game. So what we saw was not a whole lot out of this bench unit that wasn't as bad as the numbers put it. They just didn't get enough minutes. Now, outside of them, the Knicks do have a much better bench unit this time around. Adding on Gershon Yabusele in place of Precious Achiuwa, and then adding on Jordan Clarkson in place of Cameron Payne definitely makes this team better. And I'm not pretending like it doesn't. Their bench got better. They needed their bench to get better, so what'd they do? They got a better bench. They added on 2 high-end bench guys. They added a guy who's one of the best 6 men in history of the NBA, and another one in Yabusele, who was awesome last year, putting up really good numbers for the Philadelphia 76ers. So we're seeing that this bench got better. And Mike Brown's going to use this bench because it's a super talented unit. Deuce should be excited about that. And it's good to see that he absolutely is excited about it. Now, Deuce in the playoffs averaged 19 minutes per game, and he should have been playing more. Now, the shooting was pretty solid as most of his shots came from 3, so the 37% from the field could be a little bit disregarded. The 37.3% from 3 is where most of his shots came, and he was solid. He should have played more minutes because of his defense. He was the only one who seemed like he could guard Tyrese Halliburton. At times it felt like only him and DeLon Wright were able to do it. However, they just didn't get enough chances to. So to see a new bench unit come in, I'm not surprised at all that Deuce is super excited about it. But also what we're excited about is the change in the staff as well outside of that, because we're seeing, as James Edwards mentioned, sources say that there's 2 spots that Mike Brown can fill, and that Brown said that him and Leon Rose are going to do it together. There's a lot of people from Tibbs' staff that are going to be back. A lot of them are in Vegas with the team for Summer League, and one of them, who's not coaching, is Dice Yoshimoto, who is here with the Knicks, and he looks like another carryover on the staff. I previously did say that as far as I was seeing, Dice was not going to be back, and as I said at the time, it wasn't an inside source situation. It was he wasn't coaching Summer League, so I figured that Dice was not going to be back. But he is, so good for Dice. I do like Dice Yoshimoto. I think he's been a good coach with the Knicks in the Summer League. He went 12-9 in his time coaching them, and I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to dislike about Dice, so thumbs up. There's still going to be 2 guys added. Darvin Ham's going to be a name that gets floated around. Obviously, James Borrego's not an option. Phil Handy got hired, so their options are becoming a bit more limited. We're going to see who the Knicks go out and hire. That is going to be interesting to see, and I mean, we'll add that into another video. I'm not going to do a full video on the assistant coaching anymore. I did a few of those, and clearly you guys, I mean, some of you guys were interested. I'm not saying nobody liked them, but like, maybe that should be something that's added on to other stuff, like what we're doing here. We'll try that out instead. Try to add more sustenance to those videos, because I know sometimes I'm talking about assistant coaches, and it's like, dude, no one needs 8 minutes on these assistant coaches. We need 2 to 3, and I can understand and respect that, so we'll move in a different direction. So, in regards to Mike Brown, when it comes down to everything here, I do like what he's done thus far, though I've always been a little shaky, but I do like what James Edwards mentioned about this. This is the stuff I like about Mike Brown. One of the main takeaways from the newly named Knicks head coach Mike Brown during his introductory press conference earlier this week was his hope for New York to play fast. That doesn't just mean zooming up the court with sprinter speed, though the Knicks, they want to play with a 0.5 mentality, meaning a player with the basketball needs to make a decision, drive, shoot, or move the ball to another teammate within 0.5 seconds. I love that because the Knicks offense was stagnant. This is a way to make it less stagnant. Before you get the ball, have a game plan. Am I shooting? Do I see an opening that I can get to, but my teammate can't? So if I get the ball, I'm going to throw this pass. Am I going to take this ball to the hole? What am I going to do? Don't stand there and think and have over-isolation like we had last year. We don't need that. We need a more modern offense for a team that has an incredible ceiling offensively. And I think that's one of the reasons why Deuce is thrilled. And it's my favorite thing about Mike Brown. I think fast-paced offense is the way to win a championship right now. The defense is going to be a little bit shaky at points, but the Knicks do have good individual defenders who I believe in. I do think the Knicks can win the finals with Mike Brown. Mike Brown's best in his first year as well, so this is our year, baby! Or at least I hope so. I'll never stop being optimistic about the Knicks. I know that most people are not, but I'm going to believe until I can't believe anymore, and a lot of that's due to Leon Rose, who's been awesome at this. Guys, what do you think about all this? What do you think about Deuce's comments? What do you think about Mike Brown's 0.5 mentality? What do you think about Dice Yoshimoto being back and Mike Brown only adding 2 assistants? Does that worry you at all? Are you afraid that the front office is too involved? Let me know in the comments down below. It doesn't really bother me, if I'm being honest. Especially because Rick Brunson got demoted, and I think that's good that he's not just, like, keeping the same associate head coach. He gets to pick that. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.